This is my wall hanging tool cabinet, my tool wall, my workbench. They're located, of course, down here in my shop. And they're not particularly portable. Some time ago I inherited some hand tools and I thought it would be a good idea to put together a grab-and-go toolkit. I couldn't begin to tell you how many times I've been working on something somewhere in the house and I have to run down to the shop because I don't have the right screwdriver or wrench or whatever, and hopefully a portable toolkit will help deal with that. So if I'm going somewhere, like to a friend's house, and I'd grab the milk crate or this tool bag and I'd throw a bunch of tools in it. They're big and they're strong, but they're just kind of empty. So everything gets all mixed up and jumbled together and then you can't find what you want, and hopefully I could fix that too. So I thought about building a big fancy wooden toolbox. Nah, this is big enough and it's strong enough. I just need something to organize the inside. So the first thing I did was grab a cardboard box and some duct tape and I started cutting it down to fit. And the next thing I did was mock up a divider down the middle because I've got a lot of screwdrivers, so that seemed like a good simple approach. And it looked pretty good. So I moved on and I built this out of wood. It's just a simple wooden box with a divider down the middle, but it really helps to organize things. Now I wanted it light, so the sides are made out of thin 1/2-inch pine. The bottom is just a piece of 1/8-inch thin plywood. It doesn't need to be strong because the strength is provided by the bag. The middle is just a piece of spruce 2x4 that's been cut down to fit and drilled and fitted. The main thing to keep in mind is that this box has to be slightly smaller than the bag so that you can fit it in the opening. So there's a spot here for each screwdriver. I got a couple extra. I have a chisel, some pliers, and a nipper, compass, nail set. I kept this side narrow on purpose. Dropped in some wrenches and a hammer and it's full, it's all set, and this side is still wide open depending on your job. You might drop in a drill or a driver, a box of screws, whatever you need to bring along. It's nice to know that there's still some space in your toolkit. So because the box is a little bit smaller, you got a bit of room here on the end. I'll tuck some sandpaper in the end, maybe some gloves, a couple of rags. Those are good, handy to have. And there we go. And so there's my tool tote organizer. Is it perfect? Of course not. It doesn't have everything. If you had everything, you wouldn't be able to carry it. It'd be too heavy. But it's got a lot of the basics. It suits me well. I kept thinking that, okay, I can change this. I can add another compartment or something, but I've actually had this for almost 3 years and I've had no interest in changing it. The only issues I've had is that, like, a couple of my screwdrivers are so tall that, I can't zip the thing closed, but I never really want to do that anyways. Okay, and that concludes this quick little show and tell. As always, I'd like to thank you for stopping by and spending some time in my shop. I hope you found it interesting and enjoyable, and we will see you next time. How thick is that? I don't even know. Yeah. I'm looking at that thing and not at that thing. And as always, we'll see you next time. I said as always twice, didn't I?